Hey everybody, it's me Lone back with the Fallout 76 video, and as you know, the Fallout Worlds update is live in 76 right now, and there's one change in particular that was introduced by this update that I really wanted to focus on in this video. Angry Turtle has already made a video on this topic, so shout out to him, but I wanted to emphasize in this video how good this change really is, especially in regards to a one-shot build guide video that I made a couple of months back. So if you enjoyed this video, please like it, I would really appreciate it. Subscribe if you're new, but with all that out of the way, let's get to the content. Alrighty, we are in the game at West Tech, and what was that change that Angry Turtle mentioned in his previous video? Well, it has to do with the Grenadier Perk Card, and I'll pull that up right now so you can have a look at it. And essentially, Grenadier means that your explosives detonate with twice the radius. And essentially before Worlds, there was an issue with this perk card and grenades specifically, where grenades weren't getting that double radius effect. And now Worlds has changed that and fixed that, and I'll read the patch note verbatim. It says that Grenadier now properly increases the blast damage radius of grenades. So you would read that patch note and think, well, it's only affecting grenades and nothing else in the game. And that's not actually true, and this is exactly why Angry Turtle made his video. Essentially, Grenadier actually does affect explosive weapons and weapons with the explosive legendary effect, and also weapons that have that inherent explosive damage like the Gauss minigun and the Gauss Shotgun. And it's really noticeable when it comes to the Gauss Shotgun. And what all this would mean essentially before the Worlds update, before this change, whether or not you had Grenadier equipped, is that when you would try and target enemies in VATS, specifically their head, you would actually deal less damage because of the way explosive damage was calculated in the game. It's very confusing. Go watch Angry Turtle's video, it's linked in the description below. But essentially it's relative to the feet of the enemy, and you do more damage if you targeted the feet or the torso as opposed to the head. I think that's the gist of it. But now this has actually been changed. So when you have Grenadier equipped, you're actually dealing now more damage when you're targeting the head and VATS with these particular weapons. And all of this means that the Gauss Shotgun is now an incredible weapon to use against general mobs. If you remember the one-shot build video that I made a couple of months back, I distinctly said in that video that you could one-shot a lot of, level 60, 70-ish enemies in the game with the Gauss Shotgun. But any higher than that, depending on the enemy as well, you're probably looking at a 2 or a 3 shot in the game. That is no longer for a lot of these enemies, and in fact, with level 100 super mutants now in the game, you can actually one-shot them easily. It is absolutely incredible the amount of damage you can now do with that build video that I made. That is also linked in the description below if you want to have a look for yourself. But essentially, this is the build, and I'm going to showcase the change and the difference to you in this video, and why Grenadier needs to become a part of that build video or that build guide now. So these are the perk cards that I'm going to have equipped just to showcase it, or just to show you, the full build. Again, I'm not going to go through all the perk cards right now, but for the purposes of the test, I am going to unequip Adrenaline because I want to ensure that I'm not getting any boosted damage when I'm killing these super mutants. So keep that in mind, but that is part of the build technically. And for now, I'm going to unequip Grenadier because I want to show you what's going to happen when I try and kill these enemies in VATS, targeting the head with the Gauss Shotgun. Essentially, what's going to happen is that I'm not going to one-shot them. It's going to be a 2-shot, leaving them with about 25% damage. And when I equip Grenadier, it's going to one-shot them easy. All these level 100 super mutants, I have no doubt in the world, so long as I land my shots. I will show you the weapon that I'm using. Specifically, this is a bloodied Gauss Shotgun. Again, it's in line with that previous video that I made. And also as well, here are all the mutations that I have. Simple bloodied build. I've covered this a million times before in the past, but of course the big difference now is this Grenadier Perk Card. So let me show you what happens when I try and target these enemies in VATS, and specifically their head. So I don't have Grenadier equipped, and what I'm going to do is head to this super mutant over here. These are all level 100 super mutants, so this is going to be a good test. And essentially, I'm going to get 25% damage on this enemy when I try and target him in VATS on the head because I don't have a Grenadier equipped. So as you see, I did not one-shot this super mutant. So let me finish him off, and I don't have Adrenaline, so I'm not getting any boosted damage, of course. So I will do it again just to showcase to you. Level 100 super mutant and 25% damage. It gets to 25% health when I try and shoot it in the head to try and get that one shot. And this is what I mentioned in my previous video. I was like, there's no way you can be one-shotting level 100 super mutants or equivalent enemies. But now you can. Now you actually can when you equip Grenadier. It is absolutely insane the amount of damage that you can get now with this build. So for sure, I would recommend it to all of you. I have all the faith in the world that I'm now going to one-shot every single one of these super mutants. It might take a little bit, like in terms of the timing, because the lag sometimes can affect it. First of all, let me get rid of this hound. Of course, he's going to die. Level 100 super mutant, and I'm not using a crit, by the way. Dead. Straight away. Like, not even any hesitation with that. Let's try and kill this one over here. Again, I do not have adrenaline pumping, and sometimes, as you saw there, it can take a little bit for the health to go all the way down, but now they do go all the way down. So Grenadier is something that you really need to include in this particular build if you want to be one-shotting even more enemies now in the game. So beforehand, like, to get this one shot, you would need to use the crit for sure. That was definitely possible, but only in the crit, and you would have to have, kind of adjust your build to ensure you were getting crits every second shot, and not everyone wants to do that. So now, really, the crit is beneficial because it's just making sure you're actually getting your shot on. So again, not using the crit, killing that enemy in one shot, and it's just freaking amazing. And don't get me wrong, you're not going to be using the Gauss Shotgun against, boss enemies. As I mentioned in that previous video, it doesn't really perform that well against the Scorched Beast Queen or Earl Williams. It'll stand up, right? But it's really meant to be for these kind of mob enemies. And super mutants are one of the tankiest in the game and one of the hardest in the game. I like to use them as a good litmus test for weapons. But now, as you can see, I'm one-shotting these enemies in the game, which is freaking awesome. And I'm just going to use a crit for the sake of it, just so you can see the damage. Yeah, but really now it's just ensuring that I get the shot on. So all these guys, and now that I have gun fill as well, I didn't fully charge there, I'm sorry. Then now that I have gun fill as well, it is freaking awesome. So yeah, you still need to ensure, and I should mention that as well, that you need to get that full charge on the Gauss Shotgun to be able to kill. I might be able to one-shot this super mutant, but let me show you not a full charge, right? Even on the head, it's not killing, okay? So it's a good thing that I made that mistake before, because now I can actually tell you that you need to have a full charge to be one-shotting. All right, here's the level 100 3-star legendary, and I'm not going to use crits again. Oh, he didn't. All right, there is the exception. He managed to regenerate in time. Yeah, so that is the exception. When you're reaching a 3-star legendary super mutant, that might be the exception. But in all these other cases, you are one-shotting them. So this has been a good test. Like, I've actually found out some stuff because I've never encountered a 3-star legendary before, and while testing this. So there it is. You need a fully charged to ensure that you get your kill. A 3-star in particular, or maybe even any kind of legendary that's level 100, because of the regeneration effect, you might not get that one-shot kill. But most other level 100s in the game, you definitely are. So I hope this video was fun. Again, previous guide videos in the description below if you want to copy it. I'll do it again. I'll show you it just so you can screenshot it if you'd like. I will put back adrenaline just so you can screenshot this right now. Have fun. Take it. If you want to look at my legendary perk cards, again, these don't matter at all when it comes to this build. And yeah, all my mutations, there you go, and my gun. Screenshot that at your pleasure. Let's get to the conclusion. Alrighty, Wasteenders, that is all from me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and until next time, this has been the Lone Vault Wanderer. Please take care of yourselves, and would you kindly keep fighting the good fight.